Today we are going to study L'Oreal Paris. When it comes to globalizing beauty, no one does it better than L'Oreal. So L'Oreal Paris beauty products you must be knowing. So globally that this brand is very popular. The company was founded in Paris more than 100 years ago by a young chemist, Eugene Schuller. Eugene Schuller was the founder, who sold his patented hair dyes to local hairdressers and saloons. So he was having patent for the hair dye, and he started selling that products to hairdressers and saloons. And he was basically chemist, and he started his company 100 years ago. By the 1930s, Eugene had invented beauty products like suntan oil and the first mass marketed shampoo. So first shampoo he invented, he was a pioneer behind the shampoo, and suntan oil was the another product he invented. Today, the company has evolved into the world's largest beauty and cosmetics company. So this is one of the largest beauty and cosmetic company. And they have distribution in 130 countries and 27 global brands they have, and more than 30 billion-dollar sales or revenue they have. Much of the company's early international expansion is credited to Sir Lindsay Owen Jones, who transformed L'Oreal from a small French business into an international cosmetic phenomena with strategic vision and precise brand management. Much of company's early international expansion is credited to Sir Lindsay Owen Jones. So the transformation, expansion, diversification is done by the Sir Lindsay, who transformed L'Oreal from small French business to international business. And he has strategic vision and very good brand management skills. During his almost 20 years as CEO and chairman, Owen Jones divested weak brands, invested heavily in the product innovation, acquired ethnically diverse brand, and expanded into markets no one had dreamed of, including China, South America, and former Soviet Union. So a lot of work has been done by the CEO Owen Jones, and he did lot of innovation. He invested in the innovation, product innovation, and he divested, he stopped or discontinued some brands, and invested in did some research and development in good balance, and also entered into ethnical brands and diversified globally. And some of the diversification has happened in the very tough markets like China. His quest was to achieve diversity and meet the needs of the men and women around the globe, and make the beauty products available to many people as possible. So these people, these companies have very long term vision, very good vision, that beauty products should be made available at less price, and it should be made affordable. Everybody should everyone has a right to look better or have beauty. uh, Everybody should look beautiful and handsome. That was the vision and goal objective behind behind this starting this enterprise. Today L'Oreal focuses on five areas of beauty expertise: skincare, hair care, makeup, hair coloring, and perfume. Its brands fall into four different groups: consumer products, that is 52% of the sales, include mass marketed brands like Maybelline and high technology products sold at competitive prices through mass market retailing chains. So first category is consumer products, which almost half of the products or half of the sales come from the consumer products. Second is L'Oreal Luxe. That is 27% of the sale. So togetherly, first and second category contribute almost 75%, which includes prestigious brand like Ralph Lauren perfume that are available only in premium stores and department stores. or specialty store. So first product is available for everyone, but second product is available for only for rich people at premium store, department store, and specialty store. So it is a highly priced, costlier product. Third is professional products, that is 14% of the sales, which includes brands such as Redken Designs, specifically for professional hair salons. So third brand is only for saloon purpose, saloon use, for professional people who give services in beauty and cosmetic industry. Fourth is active cosmetic, that is 7% of the sales, include dermo cosmetic products sold at pharma, drugstore, and medispa. So fourth product is a pharmaceutical in nature, so it's like a medicine. Now L'Oreal believes precise target marketing, hitting the right audience with the right product and message at the right place, is crucial to its global success. So every organization, they should give right message, they should have right product, they should target right audience, and at right place. So these four things should be accurate, and four things should be properly defined. Then only you'll be uh, efficient, and you will be successful. Owen Jones explained each brand is positioned on a very precise market segment, which overlaps as little as possible with the others. So what they're saying is, their each product is made for different kind of market. The company has built its portfolio primarily by purchasing local beauty companies all over the world. The company has built its portfolio primarily by purchasing local beauty companies all over the world. So they have done a lot of this acquisition, revamping them with the strategic direction and expanding the brand into new areas through its powerful marketing arm. So they were acquiring local brands, and then they are selling their products through these companies. For example, L'Oreal instantly became a player in 20% market share in the growing ethnic hair care industry when it purchased and merged the US companies Soft Sheen Products in 1998 and Carson Products in 2000. So in US, they acquired two companies and they got the 20% market share. So it was very strategic and very good move to acquire the US market. The L'Oreal believed the competition had overlooked this category because it was fragmented and misunderstood. L'Oreal believed that the competition had overlooked this category because it was fragmented and misunderstood. So L'Oreal has the ability to see to define market, to understand the customer, to how beauty industry is working, functioning. So all these information, they were they are expert in the beauty and cosmetic products and customers needs. Backed by the deep portfolio of the brands and the products, Soft Sheen Carson is now the market leader in the ethnic hair care industry. Backed by the deep portfolio, so their product line was huge, was large, of the brands and products. Soft Sheen Carson is now the market leader in the ethnic hair care industry. So I think Soft Sheen was the company which is acquired in 1998 in USA. So it is L'Oreal company, and it became the market leader in ethnic hair care. L'Oreal also invests significant money and time in its 22 local research centers around the world. So they are working a lot on their research and development department. The company spends 3.5% of the annual sales on research and development, more than 1 percentage point above the industry average, researching and innovating products that meet the local needs of each region. So they knew that if they want to survive, if they want to become a market leader, they have to invest more in the research and development. That trend you can see in all the market leaders and all the successful multinational companies. Understanding the unique beauty routines and needs of the different cultures, climates, traditions, and the physiologies is critical to L'Oreal global success. So they have understood different cultures, climates, its impact on the skin, their different traditions, different physiologies. So they have done very deep study to get the global. So that's why they are globally successful and globally market leader in this category. Hair and skin greatly differ from one part of the world to another. So L'Oreal listens to and observes consumers across the globe to gather deep understanding of their beauty needs. So those who are there are different climate on the in the different countries. Like in US, UK, you have the climate is chilly, like it's winter. It's like a winter season. But in India, it's more of a summer, and we have a lot of sunlight, lot of dust. So the because of climate. The skin changes differently. Skin is different in different climate, different environment, different condition. Even if you take within India, the north part they have different kind of skin. In south they have different kind of skin. Then east, west, every state has some different kind of skin. They have different kinds of need for the beauty products. L'Oreal scientists study consumers in laboratory bathrooms and in their own homes, sometimes achieving scientific beauty milestone. So L'Oreal scientists are working hard. So to come up with the new formulas, come up with the new inventions for the so different types of skins. In Japan, for example, L'Oreal developed wonderful mascara specially formulated to curl Asian women's eyelashes, which are usually short and straight. So as per the requirement in Japan, they come up with the women's eyelashes product, and they in Japan they have short and straight eyelashes. So accordingly, they come up with the unique product. They invented a new product for them. Within 3 months, Wonder Curl Mascara had become Japan's number one selling mascara, and young women lined up outside stores to buy it. The L'Oreal continued to research the market and develop nail polish, blush, and other cosmetics aimed at this new Asian generation. So in Asia also, they are giving equal importance, and they are inventing new products as per the requirement of the customers and as per the requirement of the skills of these Asian customers. L'Oreal believes its future lies in emerging areas such as Asia, Africa, Latin America, where it expect to find millions of new customers over the next few years. So they want to diversify. They want to expand to some other markets outside Europe. Mark Menesguin, L'Oreal managing director, strategic marketing, explained our projection for 2020 is 50% to 60% of the sales will come from emerging markets, that is in like developing countries like China and India. As a result, new research centers have popped up in these countries, and the company is working aggressively on understanding these consumers' needs and developing beauty products to satisfy them. So they are giving equal importance to the research, development, invention needs of the developing countries. Well known for its 1973 advertising tagline, "Because I'm worth it," L'Oreal is the leader in beauty products around the world. So they started campaign in 1973, "I am worth it." So that became very popular, and that's why it made this marketing campaign made them market leader and successful in this category. The company spends approximately 5 billion in advertising each year, making it third largest advertiser. As Gilles Well, its head of luxury products, explained, "You have to be local and as strong as the best locals, but backed by an international image and strategy." So you should have international image, good brand image, good global strategy, and same time you have to be local also. So this is all regarding a case study. There are some questions like a review of L'Oreal brand portfolio. What role have local and global marketing, smart acquisitions, and research and development played in growing this brand? So, what is the role of research and development in growing L'Oreal Paris brand or their sub brands? What are the keys to successful local products? Like second question is, what are the keys to successful local product launches like Maybelline, Wondercool in Japan? So, what is the key to successful product launch? So, this key is like research analysis, understanding of the customer need, and the expert in the product or expert in the in the category they are. Next is, what is the next L'Oreal on a global? What is next for the L'Oreal on a global level? Who are its biggest competitors? If you were CEO, how would you sustain the company's global leadership? So a company has competition from the organized sector, unorganized sector, and there are so many brands like Procter and Gamble, Hindustan Unilever, and so many other brands in India. There are, if you go to any online shopping e-commerce platform, you'll get hundreds of brands. Then we have Himalaya, we have Patanjali, we have Lakme. Then hundreds of brands are there. Literally hundreds of brands are there to compete. And we the first regarding first question, L'Oreal Paris Research and Development Center, or the role of R&D in growing this brand. Uh, the products like L'Oreal Paris are the premium products. They also have premium products for the rich people, power products for the luxurious category. And their products are considered to be status symbol and used by the rich people. So they should have a very deep research and development, understanding, knowledge, budget, and the skills of the employee should be good in research and development. So it will play important role, because if they don't spend more on research and development, and if their competitor come up with the new products, new and they take the patents, or they are they are the first in the industry to launch that product. So they become a pioneer. So slowly, gradually, L'Oreal brand become fade away. Brands become diluted. It will lose their market leader position, and globally, the brand is now successful. But slowly, gradually, it will get out of these markets soon. So research and development play also a very important role in the products, where we charge higher prices when the product is premier, when your customers are want luxurious products, when your customers are rich, and you have very good brand image all over the world. That time you should have very good research and development skill. So we will see the uh, more in-depth analysis in the next video. Till then, thank you so much.